Hey everybody, Aaron here. Welcome back to the anime review. Today we look at Fate Apocrypha, episode 18. Now, I will say that as much as I dislike the Jack the Ripper character in, Fate Apocrypha, they handled this part of the story pretty dang well, that I actually was okay with the whole backstory for it, the kind of changes to it, obviously. And that we see that from her, I want to say noble phantasm, she was actually able to show the people that were trapped in it essentially this darker side of her world and what caused her to become so cruel and wicked. So we see that, as a child she was abused and she was on the streets of, obviously London, and during the whole scene, well, probably not the real London, like they're trying to make this kind of almost semi-fake London, but she was abused and kind of like other kids there was kind of just thrown out for, more important matters. So they were basically just tools. That's that, you can see that there was prostitution going on, etc. And the problem with that, obviously, is that would cause any child to kind of come up into a darker realm and start going into darker thoughts as they get older. It's just how it is. But we see that really did change her and also change other people too, to the point that when they died, they actually didn't move on to, heaven or hell. What they actually ended up doing was staying behind into this kind of realm that was made then by Jack the Ripper. And obviously, that was her noble phantasm, was to kind of create this space that would be a place that would lure you in, and then, you'd be kind of trapped within this world or killed off by this world. Now, here's where I know some people are going to say, well, is it possible that is not her noble phantasm? And yes, I will say, it is very possible that it is indeed not her full noble phantasm, because we could also tell that the concepts of it were, I want to say different for some people. Because for Ruler, obviously, she was not affected by the noble phantasm as much as, say, Sieg or even, I think, the Archer of Red. Archer of Red was very affected, to the point that even after the noble phantasm was destroyed, or at least that other realm was destroyed, she was still, she was still infected with a dark spirit. You can see that on the aura of her arm. So that means that most likely now she's going to be kind of messed up. And we can see that she was very noble in general, but now having this dark spirit attached to her, she's kind of almost losing her mind. Now, that will definitely, I think, have a play later on in the thing, because I was thinking that maybe she would help out and be a good ally for them, but I think that's the way of making it where she's now going to be the enemy later on in the series. But, I would almost say that it is possible that this is not a noble phantasm, for the sheer fact that we really don't know what her power was until the end. We see that she had various powers. She had the ability to kind of wipe your memories if you saw her once. She had the ability to create this mist and fog-like areas. It's possible that wasn't. It really was. But I'm going to presume it was. And, from the Fate series, and this is why I say this is her noble phantasm, from the Fate series, typically when a servant dies or a master dies and then the servant's left, they usually activate their final power, which is their noble phantasm, before they die, because that's their kind of last-ditch effort to do anything. Because for the most part, if you guys don't know, in the Fate series, it's explained that Noble Phantasm takes a absurd amount of actual energy or mana. And if they don't have attachments to the original master, or they don't have very much left in them, it can basically be the end-all. So it's like, if they use that power without a master behind them, that's it for them. They basically will die after it's activated. But if they do have a master attached still, they can still keep going. It just takes a lot out of the master and the servant, obviously. So, it's a catch-22. I know some people might believe it's a noble phantasm. Some people will say it's not. But I really do heavily think that is a noble phantasm. And so it's really, I think, meant to be a place that hits you hardest. It hits you in your heart and your mind. More than just doing physical damage to you. It's meant to, I think, put a lasting effect on you. And I think that's worked with, at least, obviously, Archer of Red, versus all the other ones, Sieg, and Sieg was starting to get affected by it, you could see that, but luckily it was destroyed before it. And then Ruler, was basically starting to get to the point where she was getting affected by seeing the fact that she had to kill kids, but she wasn't really killing them. She was really just kind of purifying their souls so they can leave and move on. But I will say it was a very emotional episode. I think it was a little anticlimactic near the very end. I will say that, but I really did enjoy the episode. I think it was probably one of my favorites of the show so far, to be honest with you, just because of the kind of horror elements. I kind of wish this would have been on Halloween. I think this would have been a perfect episode for Halloween, to be honest with you. But what did you guys think about this week's episode? I would love to know in the comments below. I will talk to you guys later. And by the way, I apologize for not getting this out earlier today, but I really was exhausted, so I had to go get some sleep. Hopefully you guys understand that. But I will talk to you tomorrow. I don't know what I have reviewed tomorrow. I forget off the top of my head, so we'll see what happens. But talk to you guys tonight. Have a great night, everyone. God bless you all. Bye-bye, everyone.